Real honest reviews. Really,
Man, these things are awesome.
not bad for the money. You could pay me $100 to take that cheap Chinese piece of crap.
Oh.
It's awesome. Total piece of crap. Come on, wouldn't you trust this face? Recently I just got this Kyosho DRX-VE rally car. This one was originally nitro and was converted to run electric. It's got a Castle brushless system in it, and it's pretty stinking quick just on 2-cell LiPo. This is 1/8 scale, so it's got about the same wheelbase as the short course truck, the Slash short course truck. Kind of handles a little better. It has fluid filled diffs. Currently I have 5K oil in all 3 diffs, but you could lighten up the back a little bit and put a 3K in there, which I'll probably do. It tends to want to kick out the back a lot right now, so if I lighten up that oil, it won't have quite as much bite. This thing has been an absolute blast to drive. I've broke it a couple times already. Lost a wheel nut, so I kind of got one faked on there till new ones come. The tires on this are really cool. When I come down the driveway and drift around a turn, if you listen careful, you can hear the tires kind of squeal a little bit, which that's real fun. The thing is just a blast to drive. I'd highly recommend one to anyone. I do have, for kind of nasty, yucky, took a buggy body. It's got, it's a little hard to see, it's got foam in there and Velcro, and then on the bottom of the chassis there, this plastic was added from a buggy to kind of close it in. And what that does, when I put this over top, when you put this whole thing on here, do I have it going the right way? I think I do. You can kind of squish the Velcro down on there, and it gives you a like a dust cover, mud cover. It keeps all the junk out of the inside of there. Although I have noticed with this particular brushless setup in there, if it's warm outside and I run it, my ESC overheats and thermals out on me. So I might have to come up with some way to kind of get some cooling down in there to that. There is fans on the motor and on the ESC, but it's still thermaling out and overheating after a little while. You can get a bunch of different bodies. This is the Mitsubishi Evo rally body. You can get the Ford Festiva. You can get the what else they got? Oh, they got a bunch. This one's kind of taken a beating already. Inside, it's got some screen in here and filled up with some resin, and all along the bottom, same thing here, just to reinforce it. Now, what I'm going to do, because I've smashed out some of this stuff already, it's a little bit broken there, I'm going to get some shoe goo and just fill that whole front end behind that screen that's in there basically with shoe goo, and that's going to help to make it a little more solid there and just brace it up. But I definitely recommend them. I've seen them on eBay for about 370 bucks ready to run, up to about 400 ready to run for the electric. The nitro one's cheaper for some reason. I picked this one up. I managed to pick this one up for only 250 bucks, and then I just threw my radio in there. So it was a little bit abused when I got it. It's got some has some yellow scuff paint on it from the previous owner, and then of course I broke one of the knuckles. I broke the knuckle here and broke an axle off of it. Could have been already weakened from previous wreck or whatever, but definitely fun.
Let's pull the cover off this guy and kind of go over some of the specs of it.
Let me pull some of the sticks out of here. So as you can see, it's pretty basic pan. You have your standard double wishbone suspension there with your A-arms. I've already got it filthy from running it. I'm just running it's a Castle SCT. It's not even really, it's just a Sidewinder. See if you can get in there and see that. Just a Castle Sidewinder short course. It's not even the 8th scale edition, which is why it overheats. I do have the fan on it. It runs 32 pitch gears, just like Dave's buggy. Got a differential. This is a ball diff inside of there. I'm running the Castle. Shoot, I don't know what motor I'm running. Four-pole something. It's a Castle 4-pole. I have no idea how many kVm or whatever it is. Like I said, I bought it used and I didn't tear it apart. I just pulled it out and drove it. Some of the features. There's a foam cushion front bumper here. That kind of helps absorb along with this plastic. It's got like a plastic bumper right there and a skid right there. That helps to absorb front impact, and I have to say, after running it into the garage door, straight on into a curb, straight on into another truck, that does exactly what it's supposed to do. It really absorbs the impact. Kind of damages the front body of the car a little bit, as you can see. I'm going to have to goo that up because it is in bad shape. The Lexan doesn't hold up real great, which is why it's reinforced. The car itself, it's got these rally tread pattern tires on it. It's aluminum. Are they aluminum? Oh no, they're plastic. Plastic adjustable shocks all the way around. Rear differential, and again, you can change the fluids in those for how much bite you need. Some of the things I've seen, see this right here? Let me see if I can get in there with it real quick. See that right there? It's part of the bearing race. The bearings on this are not in real great shape. Now, I don't know if that's from not being properly taken care of, or if the bearings that come with this are just cheap. But all the bearings were having issues. So that's something to think about. This particular one on this side, now remember this is the side that had the yellow paint scuff on it when I got it. One of the things that I broke, and it was on the side where the yellow paint was, but I broke this knuckle. And it's kind of a unique setup here. There's a ball that sits inside of here, and then it's held in by this nut right there. And what had happened was it split along the bottom. It must have hit hard enough that it put stress on this knuckle, and the ball tried to push out. And I repaired it, and I drove it a little bit more just by gluing that crack back together, but then it eventually broke completely. So I had to get a new knuckle for it. I also broke one of these axles, as you saw in my show. When I spun out and hit the curb, the whole axle snapped. And again, it was on that same side that it already had the yellow paint on it before, so it may have already been weakened. So far, I've had no issues taking hits in these arms. Everything's held up well there. The shocks have all held up. Nothing's gotten bent or anything like that as far as that goes. The bumper's held up. Seems pretty tough. I mean, you can see all the scrapes on the bottom where I've run it over rocks doing that rally run, and you know, it's holding up great. The screws, some of these screws, this was a nitro, so of course there's some extra screw holes in here. They're all holding up. Everything's holding up fine. It's taken the abuse. Like I said before, I have the extra plastic on the edges, like you'd find on a buggy, just so I can put that top on and keep the dirt out. But it does unfortunately overheat our short course. I'll probably put something a little bit more powerful in there later on. But for now, it's fun to drive just the way it is. So I really don't see a need to put anything else on it. I mean, runs good. Might work good with like a VXL out of a Slash, something waterproof, you know. But for now, I'm going to play with it the way it is till I get bored of it. But it's been so much fun to drive so far, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. So, pretty cool. I hope this review was helpful. I don't know how well it stacks up against the HPI rally car. HPI has a rally car. It's the same size. Traxxas has a rally car that they call a 110 scale, but it's on the exact same wheelbase as this. So I don't think it's really 110 scale. Basically, it's just that new Slash low center of gravity chassis that they have out with a car body and a foam bumper like this has on it. I know my uncle bought one for his kid and seems to think it does all right. And if it's anything, if the Traxxas one is anything like the Slash is, then it's going to be pretty stinking tough, and it'd probably be a good one for kids or first-time driver. This one's pretty heavy, and it's definitely quick. I haven't let any of the kids drive it yet because I don't know how tough it is. It doesn't seem like it has quite as much plastic to the arms as the Slash does. And because Kyosho is kind of weird about their stuff, it's a little bit difficult to get parts. I have to order parts for this off the internet. Neither one of the local hobby shops has parts for it. So I've got to order them online anytime I need them and then wait for them. Whereas with a Traxxas, you know, they're pretty popular, so you can just get parts anywhere. Faults of it, the bearings, like I said, the bearings are going out of it. All the wheels are a little loose because the bearings are going out. I don't know that that's a fault of Kyosho or if it's just that they weren't maintained. That's the problem with getting the used stuff. The steering, it has a servo saver in here, and a couple of times now that has bound up on me. It's gotten stuck, like steered all the way one way, and I'm not sure why. And if I don't know if it's, I think maybe my servo is overextending or something, maybe like that. I don't know. It's got a spring-loaded servo saver in there, and a couple of times, like, I've gone careening off road because it won't steer all of a sudden, and I pick it up and the steering is locked all the way one way and it's real stuck, and if I pull on it, that servo saver pops back into place and then it works fine. So I'm thinking that maybe this, I've tightened up this spring-loaded guy right here a little bit. That might help. I'm thinking it was just jamming up, like overextending itself if I hit something hard. It does its job to save my servo. I'm running a high-tech 5645 in there and haven't had any problem with stripped gears or anything like that with it so far. So, you know, so far I've been really, really happy with it. I know you can buy other tires. I know some of the other guys in the Tri-State Scale Outlaws Club, they've run them so much they've literally wore their tires out and are getting another set of tires. So far, I'm up north. I'm about an hour and a half from the Tri-State guys, so nobody up here's got one of these yet. But I'm kind of hoping they do. I think it'd be a lot of fun if there's a lot of YouTube videos out there of running rally races where the guys run after their cars. That looks like fun, but I think I'm too fat for that. So, I don't know. Thanks for watching.